First of all, you would get married again.
I already know where you're going with this. Well, it's also really funny that suddenly as a woman, you start getting attention from guys who are 30, 35.
I love that topic.
Of course, obviously they say younger man is really good for you.
If you give yourself a chance and Prince Charming is out there, listen to us. What do you pay attention to now that you wouldn't have noticed before on a date?
I have to feel calm in my soul, butterflies in my stomach, and a warm buzz from the carajillo, right?
Many times we judge people without really knowing what's inside them, in their hearts, and especially now in this era of social media, YouTube, and things where we're in front of the camera. And well, today I imitated a friend of mine who has been in your homes and in your hearts, or maybe in your biggest conflicts while watching your favorite soap or series, so we can get to know her more deeply, and above all, so we can talk about things like relationships, self-love, and professional success, especially as a woman having a fulfilling life, being a mom, and also experiencing everything else you want to live. So you're not just moms. So today, Geraldine Bazán, welcome to Conquista Tu Mundo. How are you?
Very well. And
It's so nice that you came. I'm glad you're here.
that's great. It's great that we made it.
We made it. I met you at my event, the Conquista Tu Mundo Forum, which we haven't done lately, but we'll be inviting you all soon. It really flattered me that you were there, and now you're going to be a part of all this. And I want to talk to you about many topics.
Yes.
But for those who don't know you, which would be strange, let's start with the basics. You're an actress, right?
Yes.
Have you been an actress your whole life?
Yes. I started when I was very young, around seven years old.
First doing commercials and then, well, theater and so on.
Because you were interested in that, or did someone get you into it, or what happened?
I mean, once I went to a show by Gabi Rivera. Do you remember Miss Jimena from Carusel? Don't tell me, the real one from my childhood. I was a fan and wanted the car everyone had. Of course.
Yes.
Well, then he made like an album. Okay. So he had like a group of young dancers and it was like, wow, I mean, we all wanted to go see him. And then there was a performance and I went as part of the audience. And then who wants to come up and participate? Well, obviously I jumped onto the stage and that's it. Then the manager asked my mom if I wanted to participate and be part of the kids who were with her. And well, of course I did. We had performances at the premiere. Do you remember the premiere?
We should return to those times, or we'll score an own goal.
So from there, I started when they passed my, phone numbers to the agencies and I started doing commercials and going on auditions, right? Because at first I didn't get the parts, obviously. And then little by little, I started and I really liked it. And I started and got into acting school. Probably always along with school. That was one of the main requirement for them to let me do it, right? And I was always really good at school. So it went well for me.
Okay.
And well, the rest is history.
Yes, and you've already been in a lot of soap operas. You've done other things too, besides commercials.
Yes. Well, I started with commercials theater. Then, like I was telling you, I started my career on television with Televisa. Then I went to Azteca. Then I went to Miami to work at Univision, with Telemundo. I went for one project. I ended up staying for 10 years. And from there, I just kept working. Also to Colombia for a project, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. I mean, really, there has been a lot of movement. And I feel very happy, very satisfied and proud as well to have been able to work already like with pretty much all the Spanish language TV networks, right?
And does it still excite you?
I like it, yes. Let's see. I'm going to, here comes the first confession.
Go.
I love my job. I mean, I love playing a character, showing up for my call times, being on set, crying, bawling if needed, I mean, I love acting. At some point, everything show business represents starts to affect you a bit. Everything that comes along with it besides, it kind of wears you out a little bit. I mean, sometimes you just decide, okay, let's see. When you're just starting out, of course, you want to be known, you want to be the famous one, you want to be there, but also as you grow and life goes on, you start to realize that sometimes there are things that matter a little more, right? So I really like it. I enjoy it. But sometimes, yes, it does get a little tiring, right? But not my work itself. Not that. I also love performing for the audience, for people. Now, I really enjoy social media too, honestly. But there are certain things that sometimes, like I say, I'm starting to get a little tired of this.
Have you found a specific area you're passionate about? I ask, because many people are searching for theirs, who say, hey, wow, it's incredible that she found her path, her passion at 7 years old, if I remember correctly from what you said. And I still don't even know what I like or what I'm passionate about. How can I find out what I would like to do? What would you say to people who maybe didn't find it at such a young age and who are questioning how to find something? I always say to try things, but what would you say?
Yes, try things and also see what excites you, right? What you're passionate about, what you're good at. Look, I would have loved to be able to take all kinds of classes, whatever I wanted. Gymnastics, tennis, or I mean, especially sports, right? When you're little, because that really shapes you. If you have the opportunity, or there are kids who play soccer amazingly, or who are better at sports than maybe at more intellectual things. I mean, you also have to know yourself and figure out what you're good at. What you're good at, because that's where you'll enjoy yourself, because you'll be successful, because you'll keep growing, because you'll keep moving forward and upward in whatever you do. But then sometimes it also happens that you decide to do something, but sometimes it just doesn't work out for you. It's fine to change and try new things. You know, the thing is that I tried it, I liked it, I tried it on, it didn't fit, so I didn't buy it. Or the other way around.
Exactly, exactly.
So I think life is, wow, it's so long and also so short. It goes by so fast, but we also have so many opportunities to grow in what we love. And I really believe that we shouldn't waste it or stay somewhere we don't like.
I agree. That's really important. Ahora, that's why I started the episode that way. You've played a lot of villains. Actually, I think people know you more for playing the villain. Are you passionate about that role, or why did you get cast as one so often? Because in person, you're nothing like a villain.
Well, that's part of being an actress. In the end, it's about doing something different from who you are. You see, what happens to me is that I have a lot of fun with the characters and I really enjoy them. But sometimes, of course, I read them while I'm playing the scene. And even though I try not to, well, yes, I do end up judging the character a little bit. As Geraldine, sometimes I say, wait, no, that's not what it's about. No, no. As an actress, you can't judge your character, nor can you, I don't know, like forgive them or justify them. I mean, I don't judge or justify, but well, as a human being, you say, oh, I wouldn't do this, right? But it's part of a character, and that's what I like. As an actress, I play villains and many roles, but on television, that's what I've done most recently. Maybe it's because I play them well and because people really get very involved with the characters. And it's really funny because, like I was telling you, right? Before, the actresses who played villains in the soap operas our moms used to watch, well, of course, ladies at the supermarket wanted to hit them with their purses and called them wicked.
They believed it.
Yes, now it's different with social media and everything. It's different. And honestly, I really enjoy it. I like it a lot. I have fun too. Well, the characters. Let's see. Whether they're villains or good or bad, now television series and everything. They're creating much more human characters. Before they were just, the bad guys and they were bad just because they were bad and theatrical, dramatic, exactly. Now, you tell me if it's true or not. I mean, human beings are not all light or darkness. I mean, I think that human beings have, it depends on how our life path has been, the decisions we've made, the baggage we carry from how we grew up and everything. We make right or wrong decisions, or we choose to go down the path of light or darkness. So in the end, that's what lately, as actors and even writers and directors, we've been trying to do, make the characters much more human. I mean, much more true to reality, like a real human being, a being who makes decisions and makes mistakes. And of course, they give a little more to the telenovela villains. They enjoy themselves throughout the telenovela. Everything goes really well for them. But in the end, those who do wrong end up badly.
They end up badly. And do you prefer to play a character you could never be, like a villain, a playwright, or a superheroine? Or do you prefer a more human character that could actually be closer to who you are?
I think variety is the spice of life. I mean, yes, I like playing different characters. And I've had the chance to play characters from the 70s, for example, right? During the drug trafficking era of the 70s. At one point, a long time ago, I played the role of one of the women who were murdered in Ciudad Juarez. I think it was one of my first films. I was just a kid. I mean, I was 16 years old. And now, well, television and not just television, but everything on streaming platforms and even in cinema. Well, cinema has always been like that. But now the characters are much more true to reality. So I think that's also part of why the audience connects with you, even if it's just to hate you if they want to, and to completely reject everything you do. Someone told me, a director told me, that the great thing about a villain is that people hate them, but they don't want to stop dancing.
Look, that's really good. And it's true.
Yes.
There are villains that we love.
Oh, it makes you angry.
Yes.
Well, but if they weren't there, who would pull the strings?
No, that's what gives the movie its flavor. Always a villain, conflict, or problem. And it kind of represents, correct me if I'm wrong, or confirm it, adversity in life. Which, of course, we can see them as guilty and villains or whatever, or we can always see them as part of our story. And the idea isn't to fight against the villain, but simply to overcome the villain, right? So how sad or boring life would be without conflicts, without problems, without things to solve. That's exactly where I want to go a little deeper into your life, your story, the things you've overcome. You were talking a little while ago about the atmosphere, about the difficulties in that world. And nowadays, I have a lot of friends in your field, and I feel like things have changed a lot. But before, the environment, especially back in your time, was tougher. Yes, it was more manipulative and controlling since there were just two TV channels.
Yes.
How did you experience that environment? Was there ever something bad that happened? Or did you always just keep your head down?
Honestly, things always went well for me. I mean, maybe it's because my mom was always really close to me since I was little, and I've always been really clear about what I want. But above all, I know exactly what I don't want. That's an example of what I always tell my daughters. In life, it's crucial to know what you want, where you're headed, and what you want to achieve, but it's just as important, if not more, to know what you don't want.
Yeah.
Eh? No, then you already have your own boundaries, right? I mean, honestly, things always went really well for me. I don't have, I mean, I haven't had any bad experiences, honestly. Eh, Actually, I believe everything has been very positive. I also have the opportunity to work in many places with different kinds of actors, directors, and experiences, and in different countries. So it's been a very, very rich career with lots of experiences. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't make up a reason why not. It was always very good for me.
Do you credit that not just to your personality, but also to having your mom nearby?
Yes, totally.
Okay, do you come from a close-knit family or what is it like?
My parents divorced when I was very young.
Okay.
And well, my mom took in my brother and me. Remember, my brother is 11 years younger than me. And well, he's my confidant and my best friend, Angel. And well, the truth is that from her, I also have a great example of what it means to be a resilient woman. A woman who, like many in the world, especially many Mexican women, manages to raise her children, works, goes here and there.
When you say she raised us, what do you mean? Was dad not around?
No, neither of our fathers was around. My brother is my brother, but he's my half brother. I mean, I have a good relationship with my dad, but he was never really present. And with my dad's family, I love my dad's family. They're from Guadalajara. I was born in Mexico City, but I say I'm half from Mexico City, half from Guadalajara. I think my heart is in Guadalajara. I also love my family in Guadalajara. But well, in the end, maybe it's also just my way of being, right? My way of going through all these things in life.
Okay. And so from there, you learn that a woman can also move forward on her own. Of course, you're proof of that today because of where you are today. Not that you're alone, but I mean that you are a successful, fulfilled woman with two daughters. Do you feel like you're repeating your mom's example?
Well, I definitely think it's a great example that I experienced. But yes, circumstances also lead you there, right? I can't, how would you say it? Bragging and saying, yes, I raised my daughters on my own and all that. No. I mean, yes, I've been a hardworking woman since I was very young, self-sufficient, independent. Yes, but as a family unit, I mean, my daughters have their father, who is a very present father, a very loving father who loves them, takes care of them, and our daughters are our priority. So yes, it would be a lie to say I raised them on my own, unlike what my mom.
I mean,
I can tell you that. For example, I didn't have my dad around, and now, of course, I will do it. I love it. I really do. And I will always advocate for my daughters to have a beautiful relationship with their dad because it's so important.
I love it. Let's go back a little bit and get to more current topics and what you mentioned. When you start to become more well known and start to become more famous, and on top of that, you're a very beautiful woman and everything. I imagine that you start getting a lot of suitors. How was that? I mean, you were romantic, you believed in love.
It was already warming me up.
Masarik has that effect.
Yes.
Yes. Let me tell you something, Geraldine. You put your heart on the table. That's the beautiful thing about this podcast. I know it's always a bit uncomfortable to be vulnerable at first. You're not a half-hearted person. But go on, because you know there are a lot of women and also men who need to see examples in many areas, right? So today you and I are here, both of us with lives far from perfect,
Totally.
but every day trying to do better and learning. So I think that someone who has followed you for a long time, who sees you in the soap operas, who sees everything, who sees that beautiful side you have, which those of us who know you can see up close, is going to find it wonderful. So with all that,
Exactly.
we're counting on you. Totally awesome.
So
Even I forgot. But I mean, I imagine you start getting a lot of suitors and proposals and people inviting you out. What were you like as a kid? Were you very romantic or very cautious because of the idea that maybe men are bad because they leave? What were you like?
no, I mean, I was always very aware. Always, I mean, yes, I did date and all that. And no, I mean, since I was a teenager, 16, 17 years old, my first boyfriend was when I was 16. And so, well, obviously, always taken care of by my mom and everything. But I was also always very aware and like I was also very down to earth from a young age.
Yes.
I was self sufficient, earning my own money and handling castings on my own. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And the key things in life I couldn't change. So I remember with a lot of affection, I don't know, my first boyfriends from my teenage years, I don't know, up through my mid 20s. I became a mom at 26. So, and I'm a very good friend. I mean, as time goes by, in the end, I remember it with a lot of affection and we still keep in touch. Sometimes we run into each other and I'm really happy to see them with their families. I mean, really, yes, I did date a lot. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't, I don't know if that's the right way to say it. That's kind of an old fashioned word.
I
You know, since I'm about your age, since we're both in our 40s, I didn't notice it. It wasn't like it didn't happen. I mean, for me, it's normal too. Now, I don't know what the younger generations would call it. Let's see.
because now they have a no, we don't want anything like I gave myself away.
Back in my day, for those who are in other countries, kissing. For those who are in other countries, in Mexico, for example, when you see, you used to kiss someone, which now sounds very common. A
Kiss.
gave me a kiss. People used to say, I hooked up with him. I took him. I kissed him. But now they just say, I did, which also means I hooked up with. It's horrible.
Yes, horrible.
That's how I used to say it.
Yes.
Oh, but that's being romantic. He gave me a kiss. We kissed.
Yes. Well, I don't like that. In fact, we could really get into comparing that a lot. I like where you're going with this. Now we don't even know where, I don't even know where I left off. Production.
That, yes. Well, that it was real. Yes, you did.
Yes, really, obviously.
Yes. And no, I mean, not really. The whole thing isn't very effective either, right? But
You were into dating and you remember your boyfriends fondly. I was. You were romantic. Very, very romantic.
I love it. I love the details. I'm like too much, you know? That's just how I am. Like I said, sometimes I try, like we all do, to control myself, right? But I just end up being myself, not just with partners, but with my daughters and friends too. I can go somewhere, see something, and think of you because you mentioned liking it in that moment, even if it's not about being best friends or anything. Oh, I mean, it's just a little detail. And
Of course.
I just remembered that you told me this. And look, I mean, things like that. I'm very, very attentive to details and very romantic.
Affectionate.
I love being romantic. I love romance. I love the thought behind it.
Also, nowadays, for example, I imagine you've had boyfriends, maybe a broken heart or two. You brought that to the stage and used it for your performance and everything else. But today, in your 40s, you still believe in love. You still believe in being in a relationship.
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Let's see. I think love is, well, I know it sounds very cliche, like the fuel of the world, but yes.
I think the same thing.
I mean, really, totally. Let's see. I mean, I have love everywhere, honestly. Like real love. Well, the love for myself. I like myself. I like spending time with myself, and I can be anywhere on a trip, wherever, sit down to eat alone with myself. I like myself. I get along well with myself. The love from my daughters, which is the unconditional, the love for my work, which I'm passionate about, which excites me, which makes me feel alive too. And of course, the love for friends. Of course, their family, the love for family too. And well, of course, romantic love is very important. To me, I think the best state for a human being is when they're in a relationship.
Why?
Well, because to begin with, to be in a relationship, you also have to be okay yourself, right? So that if you have to be okay with yourself, because I've always said, if you don't get along with yourself, if you can't even stand yourself, then who else is going to put up with you? But anyway, that's just how it is. It's up to each person. It's not just from here to there, but also from there to here.
No doubt.
Obviously. I don't know. I feel like you see things differently, you know? Sharing with someone, growing with someone, making plans together too.
Of course.
I mean, I do feel that love, besides making you, well, more, it makes you more fun, right? It also makes you more expressive. It makes you more handsome, more beautiful. I mean, it motivates you. And so many other things.
I love how you talk about it because love goes beyond just a relationship. You find love in yourself first, and that reflects in everything. In your family, your friends, your work, in a conversation, even with someone who might be shining your shoes and you joke around and gossip. Love is everywhere, right? I once told a friend who said, I want love, but I don't know what. I replied, you already have love. You? Do you want a partner? You want to experience love through that relationship, right? That's why I'm mentioning it again. It's nice how you say it. Here I'd ask you about what you said. You like who you are and what you do. So, do you generally feel fulfilled whether or not you're currently in a relationship? How do you see romantic relationships today? Because I talk to friends my age who are single because they got divorced or separated, whatever the reason. And for me, Johnny Abraham, it's really tough.
The market is going down.
The market is in bad shape. That's what they say. Do you think the same or not?
You know, I feel like we're in a time where we're kind of numb. No, I mean, like I am, but I don't want to feel so much. But then you have to be mindful of how much attention you give and what your intentions are. Because then in this push and pull game of, well, I'm going to show interest, but then the other person, I mean, the intention isn't there. And then, well, then I just don't anymore.
Yeah, right.
A little more. So it just ends up fading away when maybe something could have been built. And also, well, let's talk about how love at different ages is also different. Talking a bit about what you asked me about myself. Well, I'm divorced. I already have 2 daughters. I'm a self-sufficient woman of a certain age. I mean, I'm looking for it. The same thing that maybe a girl of 30 or 20 or even 35 is looking for, right? Maybe someone who has never been married, who doesn't have kids. I mean, it's different. And also maybe men my age. In this second round, now with kids, they're seeking something different, right? And what about this one?
Of course.
This one, as they
There's the forever young, the eternally young type,
Exactly, which is fine in the end.
which also makes the algorithm more complex. Can you confirm this for me or share your thoughts? I think that women at a certain age, especially after they've already lived out the romantic fantasy and already have their family, already have their daughters, what they value most is the connection, the depth of companionship. Some men feel the same way, but the stereotype, especially for Latino Mexican men, is that they revert to being boys. And then there's a clash because it's like, dude, you're supposed to be 50 years old or 45 years old and you're acting like a kid. So obviously this whole game starts all over again. It's worse now than when you were younger since you were more innocent then.
Yeah, because I mean, later on you say, oh, I've already been through that. So you're not really in that push and pull anymore. We kind of become a little more childish too, right? So you're searching for other things. But there's a bit of everything. It's like that. Like there are these second chances for men who go back to being young guys and are looking for someone like Vivi who's there. It's really cool. It's funny that suddenly as a woman, you start getting attention from younger guys, like 30, 35-year-olds.
I love that topic because it's becoming more and more popular. I mean,
Yeah.
why do you think that is?
No. And many times they're much more mature and much more determined than someone who's 45. Like the 45-year-old is just kind of figuring things out. And the 35-year-old is way more determined.
Well, we were talking with Andrea Legarreta on the podcast. By the way, go check out that episode. It was just a few episodes ago. And she told me, my boyfriend is 20 years younger than me. Andy, that's right. So yes, it's a reality, and not just her, not just you. No, it's a reality, yes. What's going on? I invite you all to share your thoughts with us. What's going on? That younger men are looking for older women. I mean, what do you think? What do you hear in your circles?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's also about confidence. Like the confidence that a grown, mature woman has is not the same as a young girl, right? I mean, I think that younger women are also still searching for their own identity. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying something silly.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Let me tell you, and I hope I won't be judged for this, but even before I got married, and even now, and it's even part of what I work on every day with Karen, it's emotional depth, because talking with a woman who has already been through a lot, and I think I've also worked a lot on myself and been through a lot, the conversation becomes something beautiful because there's a connection, and there's something you can have with a 22 or 25-year-old girl, or 23, it depends, of course, who hasn't been through much. And so I think that many times it's like a woman reaches that fulfillment and becomes very attractive because you're still very young. You still look very beautiful.
No, and also women nowadays are, I mean, it's not the same as when our moms, for example. No, now age doesn't look the same.
That's true too.
I mean, now it's totally different. But you know what? I mean, men my age and older. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you've never had it there.
Well, now never say never. A guy. No, yeah. I mean, yes, I have gone out with younger guys, boys. Yes. And they're very cute. But in the end, I do like a more mature and straightforward man. In the end, there's all kinds too. Men are also in a different stage, but usually, I mean, I got divorced and then I had a 3-year relationship. And I mean, I like a man determined, accomplished, and mature. I mean, someone who shares with you, who grows with you, who, I mean, yes, it's different, right? Someone who does like them a little younger. Well, of course, obviously, they say collagen is really good. I take it as a supplement. I put it on my skin.
Of course.
And well, maybe even more.
I love it. And what about you? I mean, just to narrow down this topic, do you think that a woman who's been married and has children, and even though she stays beautiful, fulfilled, and is more mature, does she have it? How do you find this partner you're talking about, no matter their age? Or do you hear, like from your friends or your own experiences, that it's very difficult?
Yes, it's complicated. Look, I have many beautiful, successful friends. I mean, and well, for one reason or another, they don't have a partner. I also think that sometimes I start to wonder, I mean, why is having a partner so overrated? No, I mean, I also feel like it's happened to me several times that I run into people I haven't seen in a while or friends I haven't seen in some time, and you talk and it's like, so how are you doing? And well, your daughters, and what are you up to? And well, I started this. And then they say, that's great. Do you have a boyfriend? And then, so it's kind of like that's the,
As if you were missing something.
no, as if that were, I mean, the only important thing.
Yes.
No, I think it's a bit overrated. The idea that a woman having a partner, I mean, yes, it's beautiful, and it is, but it shouldn't be what gives a woman her value. No, let me think about the idea for a moment. It shouldn't be that a woman's value is greater if she has a partner.
Totally agree. The thing is, well, we come from centuries of conditioning, and then Mexico is a whole other story. Because I think that out of all the Latin countries, or even in the world, aside from Arab Muslim countries, here marriage is like a fundamental requirement. And I actually talk about that in an upcoming book that comes out in June. My title is Don't Get Married. Don't Get Married Without. Knowing this above all, and I want to get into that with you right now, don't get married without knowing who you are on your own and without enjoying your single life. Because generally we get married young, or women look to get married when they're young. Because of this part you're talking about, that if not, I don't belong. My friends are married and the biological clock is tick. And suddenly you say, hey, maybe this wasn't what I wanted. And then in divorce or in post-divorce single life, you find that person who is your first love, which is yourself. How are you experiencing single life this?
Oh, very peacefully, I just go with the flow. I also have a lot of time, for myself to enjoy time with my daughters. I'm not saying that on a Sunday, of course. My daughters show them while I watch Netflix, and I'd like to have them.
My leg crossed.
Of course, obviously, just being cute together.
Of course.
There are moments, and along with many other things, not just for that. Go Guyana.
Of course. But it's perfectly understandable.
But I also think it's all about exactly how you live your life. For example, I have many motivations, and I think the most important thing is that your motivation in life isn't just to have a partner.
Agreed.
That you go to bed or wake up just thinking about whether you've already been fired or not. I think yes, as women and men too. In general, I think we have to enrich our lives with many other things to make it attractive for ourselves and also to make it attractive for those around us. So that's something I work on every day.
Today as a woman, do you feel like a fulfilled woman?
Yes. Yes.
For me, those are the things that bring the greatest sense of fulfillment. Work, family, friends. Obviously, I imagine your relationship with yourself.
You tell me what you think matters most. For me, what I'm most grateful for every day is my health. For me, that's it. I think that from there you can manage and arrange everything else. But well, the truth is yes. Being healthy, that my daughters are well, and also continuing to be productive, right? Having my own resources, being able to decide to go on a trip or not work for 6 months or a year because I already worked that year. That makes me feel very, very confident about what I am, about who I am. And also, like I said, I get along really well with myself. It's really funny because I talk to myself a lot. Well, a lot. But suddenly, like when I'm taking a shower, I say, Geraldine, that's enough. I put on some music, I start singing. So I don't know if that's normal, but I overthink things a lot. Not one specific thing, but in general. I don't know if I should have dedicated myself to writing, but I don't know, romance novels, suspense, action, even erotica, if you want. My mind is always working. Like in a lot of things, right? So in a situation, then I find an angle here and there. And so it's like I have a lot going on in daily life too. Motivations. I've always believed that the best therapy is keeping busy, always. That helped me a lot when I got divorced, and it helps me a lot when I suddenly miss my daughters too. Or not. Something isn't going quite right, I think that keeping yourself busy with things you like also helps you keep your mind a little clearer.
Of course, I always say that a busy mind doesn't miss anyone and doesn't think about so much nonsense either, because I'm like you. I think a lot. Sometimes I like what I think, and other times I wonder what I'm even thinking about. Like, that's enough. Yeah. Yeah, just nonsense. The cops high five. Aquarius is your sign, right? Yeah, Pisces. I think it's around there. And then,
Air and water.
yeah, and sensitive and
Yeah, I'm in my most sensitive phase. What you're telling me? If you tell me I'm pretty, I cry. If you tell me I might cry, whatever.
yes. Yes. What do you want to drink to?
I don't know. I was just talking to Sebas, who does my hair. Well, he's my hairstylist and all that. And it's always like, when I go to him, it's also like therapy because we chat and I tell him things. And so, I don't know. We were talking yesterday and he showed me a video. He says, you say you cried with this video. He shows it to me and I was crying and we both looked at each other and said, how awful, awful. It's not that great either, right? But it's also just part of it, you know?
Let me tell you something. I think that's the most beautiful thing. Yes, to feel, yes. Otherwise, you get overwhelmed.
I'm telling you, otherwise we're just numb.
I mean,
People just don't want to feel anymore.
yeah. They take your good advice about staying busy with things you enjoy and are passionate about, which makes you feel good. Like the other way around, it's like, no, I keep myself busy and I become a workaholic or I get addicted to working out or whatever. That can also give you some satisfaction. But it's just to avoid thinking and to numb yourself. So be careful with that because feeling is what makes us human.
Oh, feeling is beautiful, whatever it is. Even feeling sad and crying in the shower. I remember I used to cry and look at myself in the mirror and cry even more, you know? It's like you cry and that's okay because then you get tired and let it out. You let out what you have and then you sleep better. Your mind is a little tired too. And the next day, I've said this before and I always say it because I love it. Someone once told me that the darkest moment of the night is just before the sun rises. No, so you might be going through a really tough time in your life, but the sun always rises the next day.
Of course.
And so I always think you have to keep that in mind and feel it.
I love being in touch with your emotions, managing them, not repressing them. It's basic. It might seem complicated. Nobody taught us, but it's basic.
This should be taught in schools.
I think the same taxes too. Yes, 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 business, business, yes. Taxes.
Business. And that, of course, managing your emotions.
Yes, I love it. Now that you mention it, were you always like this or did you develop it over time?
I think everything is part of what we go through, right? And if not, just imagine. If I were the same woman I was 20 years ago, I can barely even remember it clearly, you know? But I feel like every experience we go through in life shapes you. They make you the person you are in the present moment. So I'm very proud of everything I've been through, my good decisions, my bad decisions, the times I've made mistakes. I'm proud of it all. There are also things from that you remember.
Yes.
And you say, no, please. I wish I had that wand from Men in Black to erase that memory because there are painful memories.
Well, yes.
I remember painful memories, even ones that make me embarrassed about myself. It's like, why did I say that? Why did I react that way just because I said that word or made that comment? But it's part of who we are in that moment and what we're learning.
Of course, I would ask you and the audience if you could grab that Men in Black wand,
It was a wand, not like a...
stick and a light. If you did something like that, would you erase everything you've lived through? Or would you change everything you've lived through?
No, just a few things. Like, just the things that were kind of cringe, not what I've really lived through. Just little things that are honestly silly. Yes. I was thinking, why did I say that? Cringe is different from something that hurt or caused pain. That's the difference. Yeah. Between feeling embarrassed for someone else.
Let me tell you something. That embarrassment for someone else is what helps you grow.
Yeah.
You say you don't want to be that person, react that way, or be in that kind of relationship again. By the way, I recently read and reposted a great quote. Don't cry so much over that relationship because tomorrow that relationship is going to make you cringe. Watch out, right? Of course, yes.
It's so cringeworthy, you'll think, wow, I was there.
Uh-huh.
Well, but it's part of our history. So what can we do?
And today, how old are your daughters?
17 and 12.
Okay, one is entering puberty, or rather adolescence. That's really tough. The other is already becoming an adult.
Totally, yes.
How do you see them compared to how you felt you were? And what fears do you have as a mom about all this? Because I imagine it must be really tough. I don't have children yet. And one of my fears is that I would prefer sons. If I have daughters, I will still love them very much. But I would like to have daughters, and I think, oh, that's the typical thought of a dad, right? No, my daughters will be queens, and I don't want some idiot breaking their hearts.
How?
How are you doing as a mom? How do you feel?
Let me tell you something. They are my deepest vulnerability.
Okay.
I'm telling you, that's the most sensitive topic. My daughters.
I love you. You're already emotional.
But it's just that they're like the most important.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Nothing besides the fact that I'm super proud of them. They're my greatest teachers. I look at them and I think they have such a personality. Each one of them is so incredible. They're so different. Elisa, who's here, will back us up. Elisa is the older one. Una. An impressive emotional intelligence that suddenly, I mean, one time I told Iris, Elisa, you have an emotional intelligence that I wish I had. And I heard her saying it to her older brother. No, Miranda, mom said I have something that surpasses hers. I mean, and they're girls who are so, well, they're girls who are so loved, so cared for. So I don't know. I mean, especially Miranda, she's still very little, but she has such a charming personality. But very charming, but also very smart, and she does whatever she wants with us.
Of course.
My Elisa is also much more sensitive, but the older one has an emotional intelligence that truly stands out. She had a boyfriend. No, no, no! I'm not going to talk about her life here. I shouldn't, but anyway. I mean, the way she handled the end of her 1 year relationship at 15 years old was impressive. I would tell my friends, like, Elisa told me this, and everyone would be like, please let her teach us how, right? How and how to cope. I mean, and at 15 years old, her first boyfriend.
So you talk a lot with her.
I imagine a lot more that I'm going to go to Japan with Elisa, with the oldest one. The little one didn't want to go because there was a lot of walking. She didn't want to walk and she doesn't like fish. She didn't want to go. So it was amazing. We went. Elisa, the oldest, was there most of the time. And it was so nice because in the end, we're always together. But in this moment, well, both of them always want my attention when we're together. When they were little, both would pull my face. Now, sharing this moment with her as she nears adulthood is truly special. For me, it was really beautiful and getting to know her. And we talked about everything. I mean, everything. Sometimes she even gives me not advice exactly, but she does give me her opinion about certain things. Performances, because I tell her everything. And if I don't, she notices.
She notices. And do you think being so close to her, obviously with the boundaries of being her mom, is that what has made them like that? Along with obviously everything their dad contributes and all? Or what do you think? What do you think is the reason they are so smart?
I think they've also had to go through different stages in life.
Okay.
And let's see. Even though they are well cared for, loved, and have everything they need, often more, we always try to give them all we can, and sometimes more. Like everything in that area, emotionally as well, but they've also gone through complicated things. Regarding everything that happened, what affects children a little, the separation of their parents, this is a very public business. So they've learned to cope with a lot of things too, right? For example, even though they're just young girls and all, and both of their parents do this for a living, they don't want to do this, right? Unlike what might seem the most logical thing.
Of course.
Social media, they do have social media, but they keep it private, so they have their own. But they also don't like to post a lot of things, and they don't really see social media as something that interests them, rather than just being there in general, or trying both, or things that for them, they don't even need to be on top of. At first, yes, but now they are very, very clear about who they are and what they have around them.
Yes, and with all the care, love, and respect, I ask you if everything is really that good. Why are you so sensitive about that? I mean, what's causing it for you?
Well, it's just that always. I mean, my daughters are, I don't even need to say it. My daughters are my Achilles' heel. They're my motivation. They're okay. The greatest love. Or funny and nothing else. Well, because I'm telling you, I'm really sentimental.
You wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yes, 100%.
That's cool. And when they see you, for example, and they say, I mean, they see you as beautiful, successful, happy, single, everything. What do they say to you about having a partner? Are they interested in you being with someone? Do they not mention it, or how is it?
Oh, they even want me to have another kid. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Why?
Well, I don't know, because like a little sibling, I tell him. And he says to me, well, but if you had one now, there would be like an 18-year age gap. And I mean, it starts, I mean, of course, what they want is to see me happy, content. I mean, but look, I mean, they see me like this. Because no, it's not like, I mean, I don't base my well-being and happiness on that. But they've also seen me when I'm in a relationship. And they like it when I'm with someone.
Of course.
Because they know that when they're not with me, I mean, obviously I travel, spend time with friends and work, but also the emotional and sentimental part is important too, right?
Of course. For example, if you give yourself a chance, in case Prince Charming is out there, listen to us. What do you look for now?
I mean,
So what do you pay attention to now that you wouldn't have noticed before when you're, for example, having a meal with someone on a date? What are the things that make you say, Like, these are the first things I noticed.
Well, for one, the conversation.
Let's see. Well, first of all, for me, before going out with someone, first you need to be single
Obviously.
or divorced, but not recently divorced. Nothing like that. At least a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That he has done a little work on himself.
Yes.
Yes, grief.
Yes, because you see, I already did it. And I also think that during this process, there are good days and bad days. And also, if at some point I go out with someone who is, well, divorced, who has kids and all that, I want their situation to be more talked through and healed since I want to get along well with the ex.
Of course.
I mean, because it shouldn't be a nightmare either,
Yeah.
especially when you're older. And what you want is to have something much more conscious and much more peaceful. Yeah, so all that factor.
Single number one. And really single. Already done with his breakup. Exactly. At peace with the past relationship.
Exactly.
And the conversation, you said,
Conversation, manners, how he treats others too. Well, his plans, right? For life, that we also have things in common. I mean, I like to have fun. Of course, I like to go out. I like to travel. I also like to stay at home. But I mean, my priority is my daughters. I mean, in a way, right now. And it's also important to have someone who understands that, or that he has children too, right? Because many times when there are these relationships where one has a child and the other doesn't, I mean, they say, yes, I understand, but they really don't understand.
Of course.
Not really. I mean, so first of all, let's see, he should be committed, determined. I don't need or want, or I'm looking for a father for my daughters. No, nothing. I mean, they have their dad who is present, who loves them, but I do want someone who who protects and respects my daughter. Of course, it's like a combination of things too. But in general, look, I think that at first, for there to be like a like at least a click, I have to feel calm in my soul, butterflies in my stomach, and warmth in my heart.
Oh, I love the formula.
I don't know. I think I do too. I'm not looking for something specific that does this, that has this, that gives me this, that.
but look at how beautifully you're saying it. And especially to be able to show it out there. When we're younger, we go looking for romantic ideals and especially a lot of social and economic status. So yes, we have the list. And I say we because, well, yes,
Yes.
it can vary, but in general, I want her to be pretty and to have, well, for him to be handsome and above all money and that he is,
That he buy me.
buys me things, takes me to see his family. Yes, that I like him, that he is 1,000 things. Yes, that have little to do with the person per se and with their essence. And you right now, after your experiences, after how much you've grown and worked on yourself and everything else, everything you told me, I love it because it shows that I can connect with him, that his essence and mine click. And it's not so much about that youthful excitement of romance and the thrill and the adrenaline anymore.
It's that you can have it all.
Yes, but I think it's a different kind of excitement
Totally.
because there's one that's like overflowing, youthful and passionate. And there's another one who can be like that too. But as you said, with peace in your soul, there's a certainty and security that he's interested and not playing games. Of course, as we discussed, some guys in their 50s still play games. So it's about getting to know people. But that's good because then I want to invite all the single women and men to focus more, even if it's not their second or third relationship, on the essence of the person. Because if there's a soul connection, let's call it that, everything else can be built or even overlooked. It doesn't matter. But when you have the shell and there's nothing inside, it's complicated, don't you think?
I think there's no Prince Charming. I mean, no perfect man nor an ideal woman. I mean, I think. I think souls find each other. And right now, we're at the point in life we're also in a world that's honestly so fast paced, chaotic. Bana. So we really need to realize it, right? Because many times it's there, but we're just so wrapped up in so many other things that we don't focus. And it's there to find someone who adds to your life beyond what we were saying, someone who can contribute to you in some way. And many things are built from that. Also, of course, there are non negotiables, right? Of course, that's something you have to be very aware of.
I have two questions about that, and then we'll move on to another topic more related to you, your single life and self-love. But it intrigues me, and I ask friends who are in this situation whenever I get the chance. First of all, would you get married again?
I mean,
About getting married, like having a wedding and everything, like that.
why not?
Yes, I'll take care of it.
Okay. I mean, I like it. No, not yet. Or I would still like to have that experience.
Sure, let's see. I got married more than once, but always to the same person. Wow, what a ceremony. But yes, I mean, if you find someone who's on the same page, it'll also be a different stage for both of you. Yes, honestly, it really is.
And now I imagine you really prioritize your own space. Well, I don't know, but many women.
Now everyone has their own place.
But isn't that right?
Well, yes.
A lot of people say each person should have their own home or at least separate rooms. What's your opinion on that?
I don't know, honestly. No, I think I would like to live together. I mean, if you get married. Yes, living together. Because also, look, my daughter is about to turn 18 and she's going to leave to study. And looking at all this, but I mean, I think that to build something together, I would like that too. If I decide to get married to someone, I mean to share a room, a bed, and everything.
Okay, yes, obviously.
That's becoming really common now. Well, there are many relationships where, well, you get married and everything, but each person stays in their own house. You have a formal relationship, but maybe you don't spend the weekend together. Or sometimes you do. I mean, you have your kids. So it's really a matter of negotiation. Every week you have your kids, but this weekend you're free. So am I. Let's meet up and take a trip together. Maybe even spend time during the week. And so I mean, I think it's even exciting. It's fun, but also having your own space because, of course, as you get older, you also become pickier. Of course, you want your own space, and that's okay.
There-
You miss each other too.
Yes, that's nice. The thing is, we still haven't found a model that will replace marriage.
Traditional, a friend used to. He tells me we had, I don't know, 7 years together. We got married 4 years ago. We've been together for 12 years. And yes, happier than ever in their second time around and even more. And he says to me, but suddenly he asks, do you miss me? And I'm like, how am I going to miss you if I just saw you?
Cool.
And I see you, I mean, not in a bad way, but just a little.
Wouldn't it be nice to find it? I propose something very interesting in my book that's about to come out. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it would be very interesting to find that model of committed dating that can give children the right framework so they can grow up with a lot of love, as you were saying. But it doesn't necessarily have to be traditional marriage per se, because it's already been proven that there are many complexities.
Little things, little mistakes,
Exactly.
flaws in the system.
Exactly. So I think these kinds of spaces and everything we do are just to find it because we want love. It's a basic human need. We are affectionate beings. We like company. We are not solitary beings. We are pack animals, but we haven't found it. How? Well, there are people who will say yes to polyamory and non-monogamy and same-sex relationships. They also have their complexities.
It works for some people, but I couldn't.
Is that a question? May I ask it?
I'll give you that.
Thank you. What happens if you meet that guy and you think, wow, I mean, I loved it. Everything's fine. We've had 10 dates. Everything's fine. But on the 11th date, he comes out with, hey, Geraldine, look, you've already gotten to know me, but I kept this to myself so you wouldn't judge me for it. I want a relationship,
An open one.
not monogamous, where we're free. Like we said in the episode with Adriana Rikin, go check it out. I want us both to do what we want without the other knowing, because finding out would hurt us and suggest we don't love each other.
And I don't think so. See, I don't know until I'm in your shoes.
I know, but right now seeing you, it really jumps out at me.
The truth is, I don't think so.
No.
No. Because I like it. Look, I want to fall in love. I'm a very loving person. I do have the intention and I like being with someone. Besides, you have to be careful, of course, about many things, not just that. But I don't think so. Not right now at first. Well, no, I don't think so.
Okay. What do you guys think? Let us know.
Are you in or not?
Are you in? Let's hear what everyone says. Every opinion counts.
Of course, as long as it's consensual.
Yes.
I don't know. Talk through and agreed on.
Do you, seeing your daughters today, think they will follow the model of getting married and all that? Or do you think the coming generations already have other ideas?
But we talked about her friends, what they see.
What? Yes, yes. I mean, yes.
Yes.
They talk a lot more about getting married. They talk a lot about having children.
That's right.
Or, well, they talk a lot about that. I mean, they never tell me when I get married, but rather when I have children. So that really catches my attention. But I mean, obviously they plan it. Elisa tells me around 35. I became a mom at 26. No, times have definitely changed, but she's very clear on what she wants to do first, what she wants to study, where she wants to travel. I mean, she has all of that very planned out. And like you say, I mean, there isn't really a formula. No. Obviously, our Mexican society is not like that, and if you're going to live with someone before and you're going to, I mean, yes. And so if you're going to be in a formal relationship and everything, but without getting married, it's not like that. I mean, what guarantees the success of a relationship?
No, nothing guarantees it. It's the work of two people every day. Every day, all the yeses.
And there, for example, sometimes I think philosophizing here with you, sometimes I talk about the next generations. It's already more than clear that the trend is not to get married and not to have kids because life is very comfortable and who wants to get into this job? But then I say maybe I'm wrong because they have so much information. Parents who are working on themselves, trying to pass on different things. Maybe we can break the pattern here. And then they could have genuine relationships. In love, you'll see much more. Where do you think it's going? Because modern love at our age, yes, yes. And people younger than us and older than us, it's disgusting.
Yes, yes, they're not staying still. Of course, they don't want to feel what they do. Not anymore. There's nothing. I mean, there's attention. Yes, there's attention on social media. There are followers. There are likes. There's attention. But where is the intention?
Look, I love how that intention looks.
Well, let's see. I can only speak for myself, as they say, according to how things go for. I mean, for me, just listening to and watching my daughters, and my oldest daughter is very aware when it comes to her friendships. Also, for example, she herself has, I mean, even in friendships, right, with her friends, she has distanced herself from many friendships that didn't suit her, were not good, and she realized it all by herself. I mean, that's how it is with a relationship she had with her boyfriend, which she decided to end. But I see her as very, very clear-headed and very aware. They still have much to learn, as I tell her. They need to have their hearts broken, maybe more than once. You all will probably break some hearts too. It's part of life. It's part of growing up. But it also depends, right? Like how you grow up. I mean, the support, the love you have at home with your family, or sometimes we can break those patterns too, right? Because of course, not the maybe having divorced parents, or in my case, not growing up with my dad. I mean, you can break those patterns. The most important thing for me, as I said, is that my daughters have a great relationship with their dad. And so you also start breaking patterns. And that's part of life, of growing, of being aware, and of working on yourself.
I love the way you put it because everything you experience, it has a purpose. And if you grasp it, then you can. There are people who, of course, get overwhelmed by their circumstances, but there are people who learn and grow from their circumstances. So, how nice it is that in this conversation, we don't see a broken heart, divorce, and all that as punishments from life,
Like the end of the world,
like the end of the world, though it sometimes feels that way.
let me put it this way.
Actually, they've been opportunities. The circumstances are.
But right now, at this moment in my life, I realize that getting divorced was the best thing that could have happened.
In what way?
I don't know. I mean, no, I don't know. I mean, I don't know right now how my life would be if I were still married.
Okay.
But a lot of things have happened during this time. And also in relation to my daughters, who also, well, sometimes in a house, when things don't work so well anymore, well, the children are the ones I see growing up that way. Look, I see myself, the woman I became, also the one I am right now, and I feel very proud, and I don't see myself. I mean, I don't see myself with this person now, right? As the Geraldine I am right now.
Of course, I mean, in a way, even though it must have been complicated and painful and all that, today you are grateful for what you decided, for what they decided.
Yes.
Okay, even though you had daughters, because a lot of people don't get divorced because of their children or because of money or because of that. So watch out there because you would say, I don't have kids. But you would say that if you get divorced and still, there are two good people in that equation. So they still work as a parenting team from different places, but not much as a couple anymore. And you shouldn't kill that part of yourself, or rather resign yourself to something and stop living with love in that part of your life just for your daughters. Because, like you said at the beginning, which I thought was very wise, love is there, it exists. And you channel it and reflect it through others. But it's better to channel it like this as a different kind of team than to be in a relationship where maybe there's no love anymore, there's conflict, or many things happen that lead to divorce, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Or there are things that hurt both people, and in the end, they create resentment and you stop living. I mean, the point of this life is to live it the best way possible.
Yes.
Happiness, right? Also, maybe staying in a place out of comfort, or because in Mexico, because of what people will say, or because I can't, or out of necessity, or because it's difficult. Every situation is different, pero I don't know. I think that
You have to find a way.
yes, I mean you have to work with what you have.
Yes, Geraldine, right now you're talking about how you like yourself as a woman, that you like the woman you've become. Anyone who has seen you all your life might say, hey, today, how could she not like herself? Famous, beautiful, she's doing well. Did you always like yourself? Or were there times you didn't like yourself as much?
I had darker times. Yes, I mean more difficult, more times when things just aren't flowing at all. No. There are times when you wake up, but you can't get out of bed, of course.
You're the best.
Yeah, I mean,
You're very sensitive. And I love that because I feel things too. And it's beautiful. And look, I want to pause here because clearly people have a hard time remembering those parts. And I really appreciate you sharing with us because there are a lot of people out there who are feeling the same way. But in the present moment and seeing that it's possible, even if it hurts, is beautiful. So thank you.
no. I mean, I like it. And, I'm actually very, very private about my personal life.
And I know.
Is to share it like this. Because also, a lot of people on social media, for example, even now, they always ask me and say, hey, so when are we going to see you working? And you take care of yourself and your daughters, and you go back and forth, and you're happy, and then have you overcome it? I mean, yes, that's part of sharing it. I've also always said that if I have the opportunity for people to listen to me, to see what I do, well, that's also a responsibility. I mean, if I can share and inspire at least one person in a positive way, that's wonderful for me.
Thank you really for sharing it here because I know that's not always the case. Also, not every place is suitable for that. And we already know that social media is a bit of a different game.
Yes, yes, it's a double-edged.
Exactly. But here in this space, we're here to be vulnerable, to support each other, to not feel so alone, and to know that what you're going through isn't unique, even though you clearly feel like it's unique to you. Many of us have already been through it. Some are living it right now. Others are trying to offer perspective. And here we are supporting each other. So, well, getting back to the point, you went through tough times.
Yeah. I mean, normal. I think it's more about when we're young and trying to find ourselves. I mean, this doesn't really have anything to do with. But the thing is, when I went to work in Colombia, I didn't even have daughters yet. I mean, and it was a complicated time because I felt lonely, even though I was working and doing what I love. I had already been living in Miami for many years where people would come visit me and everything. And then there came a moment when I found myself in Colombia working on a big project and happy. Yes, but I would finish filming and go back to my apartment, at 25 years old alone in Colombia. And it was hard for anyone to come visit me. And so a lot of maturity came from that too, right? So what did I do? I started traveling around Colombia by myself. So I went to Tayrona and I went other places too. And I went to Cartagena. So I really treasure all that too. I didn't used to take selfies. I'd set up a camera, not even a phone, set the timer, and take pictures of myself in Tayrona. And so I remember it fondly because that's also been part of my growth, That's it. And well, besides that, throughout life, you always go through complications. At some point after a project, it's not that I got sick, but I started having an issue with blood pressure. Well, not depression, but pressure.
Hi.
Uh-huh. High blood pressure. Because in this project, I went through a lot of stress and then I started to worry a lot because many months went by and I had never experienced that before. You start to worry because for me, health is the most important thing. And then I thought about my daughters, and it was a complicated situation.
Because for me, I mean, everything, everything can be solved. You can work on everything except health.
You can have absolutely everything, love, all the money, all the tools. But if you don't have health, nothing else matters.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you as we head towards the end. If the woman we have in front of us today could go back to that time, what would you tell her?
Oh, that everything passes. I mean, yes, that everything passes, that the sun rises the next day. This same thing, that the sun rises the next day, I also repeated to myself a lot in a survival show I did. It takes me back to the island where we were in a place where, well, you have nothing and you have to do challenges. And I remember the first night, there was a storm, and I was saying the day we arrived, a storm hit while we were right on the beach. I hid between rocks as water dripped into my boot like Chinese water torture. I wondered if someone would rescue us or if I'd quit tomorrow, but then the sun would come out the next day.
Exactly.
And then you would compete and win, and it felt like you were winning an Olympic medal, and if you lost, it was the worst tragedy and the frustration. So it's part of life, right? It's also about depending. I've always said that what matters is your attitude. And we can have the same situation, but the attitude you have towards it is what will determine how you experience it.
I totally agree with you, and we really have to find a way around it. We've said it many times, have a good attitude, ask for help. We're not alone. Look for people who have already been through it, who might know a way. No, never give up. No, that's not what it means. Fighting against your reality? No, and no, look for ways, look for paths. I have one last question for you, and it might touch a nerve. May I ask it? It's the last one.
Yes, yes.
If today were the last day of your life, you couldn't go home and could only make one call, who would you call and what would you say?
I would do a group conference call. It's called Gem. Geraldine, Elisa, and Miranda are in it, my two daughters, and I would talk to both of them because it's just one call.
Of course.
I hope they answer me, girls, please, because, well, sometimes you call and they don't pick up. Of course, they don't have the phone in their hand all day.
Like, well, mom, answer and respond.
Yes, well, I would call them and tell them that, oh, I love them with all my soul. They've been my best teachers. And I wish them a life full of love and you say beautiful things to them.
How beautiful. How beautiful. Thank God you have so much more to be with them. And may their lives be as beautiful as the ones you wish for them and for you as well. And truly, thank you for that vulnerability. Thank you for sharing something with us that you normally wouldn't. And thank you because you opened your heart wide today. And that's what it is. Even though many of us saw you as the villain, as just another character, today you show us a beautiful, very human side, which is who you are. So once again, thank you. Lots of love in this episode. Thank you all for listening to us. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you. Thank you. You're so sweet, really. Thank you. Thank you.